Yeah, that should hit about right actually. They'll be here in about 30 seconds. Tell them to hurry up. Come on, have a break. Okay, that's going to be about perfect.
Afternoon.
All right.
You well? Good. Yeah, very good. Thank you.
Afternoon, gents. You ready to take questions?
Yeah. On you go.
Stuart, you've taken the job. Is this a U-turn? Did you turn it down to start with, and if so, why?
I wouldn't call it a U-turn. We had discussions last week. I was very impressed with the owner, and at the time I suggested I had so much on from a personal nature, commercial aspects leading into the summer, including the World Cup as well, commitments that it probably wasn't the right time. And if I was to come back to me and said, look, would you be prepared to take the job in the summer? And I jumped at the opportunity. It was a difficult decision to turn around last week and put my personal reasons forward. But everything seems right, gives me the opportunity to pre-plan for the summer, and I've just signed a contract that starts on the 1st of July.
That could be a very awkward situation if Gary Brazil gets them promoted to the Premier League.
Well, I hope he does. I hope he does, you know. I think the greater good is not me or the chairman or the fans, it's the football club, the whole football club in general, and we want to play in the highest possible league, and if that means this summer, and it happens this summer, all well and good.
Farrers, you've had a big smile on your face for the last hour, and you've also been tweeting. You can't help yourself, can you? How pleased are you to have Stuart next to you and taking over on July the 1st?
Of course, I'm really happy, delighted to have Stuart with us in Nottingham. He's a very good manager. He was in the national team at Manchester City. He has a big CV, and I wish him all the best with us in Nottingham. And to be honest, I'm really happy as chairman and owner for Nottingham, and also for the fan too, because the fans like Stuart. And to be honest, we're going to start maybe, as you mentioned, on the summer, and we are looking forward to it.
Now I'm going to put this as nicely as possible. It's been said that you've put other people off because you like to get involved with the team and like make your own decisions. Are you going to keep away from that? Are you going to back off?
I'm going to keep away then. To be honest, that's the manager who didn't take the job. They mentioned this, and I don't blame them, to be honest, because I was waiting to pick the right manager, and Stuart is the right manager for us. We were talking with some managers. The manager who didn't take the job, he's the one who mentioned for the media and for the news that Fawaz was interfering. Thanks God, John McGovern is next to me, and he knows who's Fawaz Al-Hassawi, and everybody knows who's John.
Stuart, have you got assurances that you pick the team and players coming in are the players that you want and not the chairman?
Well, that comes naturally with any job in management. You know? The one thing that I was very impressed with, the chairman wants to take an interest in the football club, and that really impresses me. You know, in the time at Manchester City, we invited the chairman into meetings, we invited the chairman to take an interest, come down and watch training, and that for me is a real plus. It's not a negative in any way, shape or form. I want the whole club to be as one, and I think that has to start with the man who owns the football club and goes right down to every employee in this football club. They have to take an interest in this club. And in my time and the time before when I was at this club, the strength of Nottingham Forest was the togetherness of everyone at the club. And we have to make sure, all of us here, that don't actually directly get a result on a football pitch, that's the players. We have to serve those players and make sure that there's a benefit and a backup to them to drive the club forward.
Have you got money to spend? Have you got a decent kitty?
I haven't even talked to the chairman about that. The only thing that he said to me at this moment in time, I've not asked him a question, the only thing that he said to me previous manager financially. I have no reason to suspect he won't with myself. I also have a big reputation of bringing players through from the academy as well. And I think the academy is a big lifeblood of any football club. If we have ability and quality in the academy, I'd like to progress those players as well. So if we can do a mix of both, well and good.
John McGovern, you represent a great time in this club's history. And at the front there are so many pieces of silverware that are painted onto the front of the fascia, but it's been a long time, hasn't it? Can Stuart bring the good times back?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously everyone knows about Stuart's playing career, which was outstanding. His managerial experience is in depth as well, so you know, we have no real worries about bringing Stuart. We're just delighted that he's actually here. Obviously I was initially invited by the chairman to become an ambassador for the club. It's not a great job description, but obviously to give him advice on certain things, and the contacts that I still had in the game as well, it helped when you were doing your homework on who should we bring to the club. Obviously didn't have to do too much homework on Stuart, having been a former player, you know, we knew all about him, and just availability was the difficulty rather than, you know, choosing through a massive list of candidates.
Stuart, finally from me, backroom staff and the remit, who are you going to bring in, and what do you have to do, and what's the time frame?
Well, between now and July the 1st, obviously I'm going to put my backroom staff in place, all being well.
Steve Wigley?
Well, he works at another club, so it would be remiss of me to speak with another employee for another football club. I'm going to put my staffing in place. The pre-season needs to be looked at, the staffing as well, the player staffing. So all of those things, I'll work from afar. Obviously, I want to make sure that Gary's given the support that he needs, but he doesn't need interference from the manager in waiting. You know, it's important that he concentrates solely on the team at the moment. And hopefully he can drive the club forward, get them into the playoffs and maybe into the Premier League, I hope. If that's not the case, then we need to work together, and I have to have everything in place by July the 1st.
Stuart, how special is this club to you, and how much therefore of a pull was it, maybe more so than another Championship club coming in for your services?
It was probably more so of a pull than any club in the country, if I'm being honest with you. I'm not particularly money motivated, and never have been really. The pride and the passion of whatever I do comes way before any financial gain. I've been fortunate in my career to have represented 5 professional clubs and a non-league club on a playing basis that have been outstanding to me, and I'd like to think I've given good service. From a managing point of view, my time at City, representing England, and the honour of representing England, and now the honour of coming back into this club is massive for me. It's not lost on me, make no mistake about that, but I'm acutely aware of what I've done here as a player is totally irrelevant. It's what I do from day one when I come through that door on the 1st of July to drive the club forward and make the man to my left very proud of me, and make sure he's delivered the right man for this football club.
How would you describe your managerial style, Stuart?
It's a multitude of many, many things, you know. I think I have a reputation out there of people that don't know me. You expect that I'm a certain way or a certain type of person. When you get to know me, they're pleasantly surprised that I'm a little bit more relaxed than they probably think I am, you know. So my job basically is to make sure that we galvanise a football team that the supporters of this club are proud of. We play a good brand of football, and I improve every one of the players under my care over time, whether they come through from the academy to represent Nottingham Forest, hopefully, or whether they go on to have a career in football. My job is to improve football players.
I know you just touched on it briefly a moment ago, but in terms of your involvement between now and the 1st of July, do you plan to watch the team very much?
That's something we're going to look at. You know, I'll have a set of eyes that will be working for me, that will be at all the games, obviously, in the background. I'll be watching all the games, obviously, on DVD without a doubt, and it just depends whether we see it prudent for me to be at any of the games or some of the games or whatever in the due course between now and the summer. I think myself and the chairman will discuss that.
Clearly you've got a huge reputation here at Forest, and of course there is that idea of never go back. You kind of put that reputation at risk. Was that kind of in the back of your mind a little bit?
Not really, no, because I think by the time I finish with management, and hopefully that'll be a number of years' time, by the time I finish with management, if either I felt I had the opportunity of joining this great club and turned it down and never actually come through the door as manager, I don't think I'll be totally fulfilled, to be honest with you. Sometimes you've got to put yourself forward. I've never been type of individual to shirk a challenge. This is a great challenge, make no mistake. There's a lot of clubs in the Championship that are desperate to get in the Premier League. I'm happy to lead that challenge and lead this club and galvanise this club and drive it forward.
Have you seen much of Forest this season? I just wonder what your thoughts are with their current situation and whether you think they have what it takes to kind of mount a late charge, if you like, and get up.
I've not seen much of them this season. Obviously, in years gone by, watching the likes of Blackstock and Lansbury, I've been to Forest as a work role as the under-21 manager. I personally think there's enough quality in this squad to drive into the playoffs and beyond that. At this stage of the season, as we've seen many times, it's who hits form at the right time. You know, I think the performance was very good at Ipswich the other night. 2 home games coming up, and there's an opportunity there for the team to bang back into the playoff positions again.
Fawaz, I see you nodding next to Stuart there. Gary Brazil is going to be your man then now until the end of the season. Are you confident that he can lift Forest into the playoffs?
First of all, Gary Brazil is doing right now a good job. He is one of the employees with us in Nottingham, of course, and he is the manager for the academy, and he knows all the players, and this helps a lot. And he saw the season from the beginning, and he knows what to do. You know, regarding Gary, we have maybe 7 games to go, and he played actually last game against Ipswich much better than the game when against Charlton. And I think the player spirit is better now, and we have now 7 games. We are looking forward to it, and I think Gary will do it. Why not?
Just finally, from me, it occurs to me that you have 2 club legends sat alongside you, 2 Mr. Nottingham Forest, if you can have such a thing. Is that deliberate on your part, that these 2 men are now sitting beside you? Is that what you wanted to do, to kind of, I don't know, capture the essence of Nottingham Forest, if you like?
Actually, I like to have around me people like, of course, John McGovern and Stuart, legends for Nottingham Forest. Even before, when I was in Kuwait, I always have people like them who are in charge in the club before, and everybody likes them, everybody knows them. And I'm sure Stuart Pearce is one of the good managers here at the moment in England, and also John McGovern is also the legend, and he's our ambassador in the club here. And always I ask him for anything in the club, and he advised me what to do.
Lovely. Any more questions, anybody? No? Right, okay. So if the BBC and Sky would like to make their way pitch side now, we're doing the exit out of the tunnel, so photographers as well will be opportunity pitch side. Obviously